not my first press conference.
If you can pronounce Jason's last name, I'll get you a Diet Coke.
Of course.
I heard lots of different ways yesterday.
Classic.
Unless you're from New England.
Oh, that, well, yeah, of course.
Of classic. Classic.
Might as well move there.
I did live in New York too long. I'm French Canadian.
I lived in suburban New York.
All right, here we go. We get started with Christopher Newport, the captains, coming off an impressive 63-59 win yesterday over St. Thomas. Now 25-5, guys. Headed back to your fourth national semifinals, and congratulations on that. And Coach will take opening questions from you, opening comments from you. Then we've got our student athletes up here, and we'll get questions from them. We've got a who's who of Division III media here today for you, so it should be a good back and forth.
Oh, great. We are still playing. We're in Fort Wayne. I think we outscored all the pundits yesterday by getting to 60. Good job, guys. I think yesterday was really just the epitome of what these guys have represented all year, and that's just tough, hard-nosed, refuse to lose, no quit in this group. Every game's a little bit different, but here we are. They keep finding a way, and that's an absolute credit to not just these four, but the other 16 guys that came with us to Fort Wayne, because every last one of them has helped us on this journey. Couldn't be prouder of this group.
All right, in addition to Coach Krikorian, we've got Colin Hines, Zaire Baskerville, Jason Kursick, and Isaiah Dozier. So questions, here we go. Who's ready? Right here.
I mean, just off the top, Colin, you've been through this before. What does that mean to kind of know what this process is like, and how have you been helping the team kind of adjust to what's going on this week?
Yeah, it means a lot. Just trying to keep the guys calm, keep myself calm, being here before. Yeah, it's really full circle moment. Just grateful for the moment, being where my feet are, just trying to do it again.
Maybe just a follow-up, like how much more do you appreciate this now? You probably didn't know what you were getting yourself into the first time around. What does it mean having all the work it takes to get back here?
Yeah, it means a lot. I was talking about it before we came on the trip. I had a little interview. Just as a freshman, you're kind of naive to like what you're doing. Just the guys, when I came in, they went to Elite Eight, had a really hard-fought game against Marietta that could have went either way. And when I came in, it was really just natty. I'm just like, all right, this is what we do. So, and then we got there and we won. So like as a freshman, it was just kind of like that was the expectation coming in. And then the next 2 years, we lose 2 hard games, buzzer beater and another buzzer beater. And the first one was at Guilford. We lost, and guy was 0-15, player of the year. And then he made the one that mattered. So just realizing that, Natty is really hard to get here. And to be in this position, being in Fort Wayne again, definitely not taking it for granted. I told the freshmen too, like, it's hard to come by. Like, you don't know if you're going to be here again, and just be in the moment, just be where your feet are. So yeah, it's been a really good moment for me.
Zaire, you transferred to Christopher Newport, so this is your first year. What's it been like, and how's it feel to go this far and kind of be ecstatic to experience this?
There was definitely an adjustment period. Coming in, I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that nothing was given. Coach K gave me an opportunity. That's what I wanted, so I just put my head down and worked. I'm glad to be accepted by my teammates. It's like a new family. And then I've never really been in this environment before, so I'm just trying to make the most of it.
Jason, you transferred in last year. This is your second year now, and people still figuring out how to say your name, but you're showing them on the court what you can do. You've got a big
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I said, like kind of what Zaire said, came here looking to win. That's what I've always been about, and I thought this was a great opportunity to do so, and been lucky enough to do it.
Would you pronounce your last name for us so we hear it?
Off Karsic.
Off Cossack.
Off Karsic. Yeah.
Isaiah, I was talking during your game yesterday, some of the Illinois Wesleyan people looking at it, and I said, "You ready for this kind of game?" And they said, "Yeah, man, we really think our league is physical, but it's nothing like what these two teams are putting out there." What was it like playing that game? How are you feeling today after a game that was really hard and physical like that? How do you recover to get ready for tomorrow physically?
Just got our trainer Eli. He really just, if we need him, just go to his room. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, it was physical, but we did it.
He's used to it.
John, obviously, when you play these guys early in the year, there's probably some element of like November, December feels like an eternity ago. And maybe that can be a blessing or a curse depending on however you want to look at it. But when you do have some familiarity and you're not starting from ground zero, obviously you know Jason really well. How do you try to like not reinvent the wheel this time of year, but also do something a little bit different that maybe they don't expect to try to give you a spark?
Yeah, when you get beat by 30, it feels like yesterday for an entire year until you have an opportunity to play again. Fortunately, we don't have to wait an entire year, and we have an opportunity to play better. We learned a lot from that game that helped us evolve over the course of the season. So, you know, every time, you know, you take a loss, it's an opportunity to learn. And we learned a ton from that. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of tremendous strategy that we're going to change just for this game. I think we evolved because of that game in a lot of ways. There were a number of guys that weren't able to play in that game. And we played Emory every year, and Jason and I are close. So, I mean, there's not a lot of secrets going on. We know what they want to do. I think they know exactly what we're going to try to do. And it'll come down to who can kind of live to their identity better and probably make a few shots.
Along those lines, love to hear from everybody. Obviously, you had a bit of a slog of a game, just really kind of in the mud type of game where it was tight, not a lot of offense. You go watch Emory play their game, and it's just high octane the entire time. Any other opponents you played this year that kind of can get you ready for that kind of switch of a game, switch of an opponent, and what you hope to accomplish? And I'd love to hear from everybody because you guys went from kind of a slower pace and you're looking at a team who's willing to go at a higher pace.
Yeah, I think our schedule is we play a tough schedule. We play a lot of good offensive teams also. Like Hood, they had a really good offense. I think at the time they was #1 in country with Javon Yarborough and a lot of those guys. They had stretch bigs and stuff. It was a really tough game. Even our first game in the NCAA, we had Stevens, so really good offense. A lot of sets. It was a lot different than some teams that we played. You know, what's another team? I don't know, but yeah, we play a lot of good offensive teams. Some defensive. It switches up. We play back-to-back games, tournament games over the courses of the season. So I think we're pretty ready. Nothing new.
I would say probably like playing Karen or Mary Wash, like a lot of older guys. Their offenses were typically they're scoring in like the 90-point range, and then we just take it as a challenge to keep them around like 60, 70, limit them to like 30 a half, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, I mean, team like Washington and Jefferson, we played in the second round. I mean, they pressed us all game, kind of sped up the pace, but we were able to adapt, and I think that's what we do really well is we're able to adapt and kind of make adjustments on the fly and figure it out.
I think Hood will prepare us a lot for this game. They had a really good offense, and we held them to like what we wanted to hold them to. And I really think like it would translate to this Emory game coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to our ability and willingness to schedule. I mean, we play, always have, the best teams we can play. They don't always go your way, but the opportunity to learn from those games and grow and get better, I mean, that's why we're here. I mean, you look at the top 25 and, you know, the first team All-Americans, and we're like, oh yeah, we played them. I mean, you're gonna get better, and they all play a different style. So by the time you get here, we've played the slog games like we did last night. We played up-tempo games, and we were scoring 90 a game in the first month of the season. These guys don't mind running. Trust me. They will run and push the ball all day. So just finding that balance and adapting to the game and learning from all those opportunities that we've had. These guys have done a tremendous job.
And on the other end of things, you guys are used to playing some teams that have a little more height than you do. It seems like Ethan Faust is 7 feet tall these days. Like, there's a lot of height out there. How do you adjust your game and the way you play when you've got that element that you have to deal with some big guys down low?
We're a physical team, so when we're outsized, I mean, we just got to even be more physical than we already are. So it's mainly the mentality, just sticking to our identity, being physical, going after rebounds, and just guarding as best we can.
Do you change anything X and O's to try and pull guys away from the basket, or you kind of pretty much just keep doing the same thing you normally do?
Well, you do have to talk about adjusting to, and in the first game, we had some early possessions where we got deep into the lane and didn't adjust to the height and just threw it up there. And I think Faust had 35 blocks in the first one. So, you know, hopefully we'll adapt and learn a little bit. You know, you got to maybe pivot and shot fake. Maybe you've got to make an extra pass. You got to keep the ball hot where they got to be running out to us, and then we can use our speed. So certainly it's part of the conversation and practice and game plan, but you know, one day. But these guys that's what they've done. But you're absolutely right. You can't. If we put our head down tomorrow and drive to the basket and try to shoot it against 2 6'8", it's going to be a long day. We're absolutely going to have to move that ball and get them out away from the basket.
Coach, can you speak to the fact that here at the end of the NCAA tournament, 3 of the 4 teams are from your region of the country?
I mean, we've been saying it for years. We think the brand of basketball in Virginia is at a very, very high level in Division III. You've seen it for years. You certainly see it this year. Yeah, it is. You know, Emory's not from Virginia, but in that region, it's great. It's really, really good basketball. And I think that's what attracts kids to the schools in Virginia too, because you know you're playing on a national stage almost every night. They know they can get the best competition around. And yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for all these coaches. I know them all well. I'm especially happy for Marcus in our conference. You know, it really lifts our league. And they've been knocking on the door for a while. So, you know, I'm not gonna look ahead at all. But, you know, we're really, really happy for each other. I know that we're in this Final Four together.
I know it probably is really, really helpful for the recruiting pitch to say somebody's been to seeing you for 4 years, they get to a Final Four. Like, that's how it's just been so far. What does that mean for you as a coach, as a program, to see that these guys have been able to earn that the whole way through your time there?
I think it's incredible when I think about that first team. You know, I always go back to, you know, losing at Salisbury up 6 with a minute to go. See, these stick with you for a long time. And we lose with 0.7 seconds on a couple of free throws, and didn't make the tournament. We were, you know, a bubble team out in 2015, and that group, they put us on the map. They put their head down. They did the work. They said, we're going to do something special, and they took us to our first Final Four in 2016. And not just because they won, but I think the way they did it, the legacy that they laid, the work they put in, it is passed down. It's just, you know, from the guys like Marcus Carter to John Hines to Colin now. I mean, it's been the torch is continuing to be passed. And it's not, for me, it's not a recruiting pitch. It's, they come on campus, they hang with each other, and they go, yeah, these guys want the same thing I want, and I want to do it with these guys. And the brotherhood, we all talk about brotherhood, I know, but it's real. You know, these guys are getting texts from guys that they never played with, talking about how special it is. They all come back. That Randolph-Macon thing was unbelievable. You know, we had so many guys, former players from that 2006 team at the game, 2016 at the game. So we believe it's real. These guys live it, and so it's not a pitch. It's a family.
Everybody good? All right.
Thank you,
Coach.
guys.
Thank y'all.
See you tomorrow. Thanks. Forward to it.